Good morning, everyone, and from the couch. It is 8:40 in the morning on a Wednesday morning. The week is just flying by. We got started yesterday, well, kind of all of us together yesterday. We got started on a project on Estates Park, and yesterday we filled a dumpster. The family in this house had already filled 6 dumpsters, and they've left. They got exhausted. There's only so much time in the world as well, too. They got exhausted, so they hired us to come in and finish the project, get the house sold. It's always fun when you offer a service package that is so much different than every other realtor. There was another realtor that had been in, and this realtor had helped the family on many occasions. But that realtor didn't have an estates clean out side to their firm. And that's all good. So the family said, we got to call Brian. And that's how we've got the listing and the project on Estates Park. So we're getting it cleaned out one step at a time. We're going to be over there again today all day working. I have a little bit of running around to finish up Pierre today. I'm taking the final billing and all of the cash over to the lawyer today to be able to get that done so I can get paid for that project as well too. That money just kind of rattles around and pays some of the car off. The fun car that's sitting out in the driveway with about 9,000 kilometers on it. Be nice to get that paid off this year. So anyway, that's where that money goes to. But the Estates Park deal is going on. But yesterday, I also had a really fun appointment with a 92-year-old. His birthday's today, by the way. Had an appointment with a 92-year-old. His 96-year-old wife passed away. And they co-owned a house on Byng. Byng, Bliss, and Turner are 2 great roads to be a realtor on in the city of Windsor, by the way. So I went over at 7 o'clock last night. I was a little bit early. And met with 5 senior citizens. I walked in the door and I'm like, I don't want to be interrupted. Oh, no, come on in, Brian. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know that I was going to be in front of 5 of you, so this is going to be fun. And we just had a blast. At the end of the day, the shoulders go down. I'm just Brian, having fun. And one of the things when you sit with a group of people is always make eye contact with each of them so that they all know that you're paying attention to their interests in the real estate as well too. So these were all family members of the 92-year-old who was there, and the 92-year-old is going to make the decision. They had somebody else in, and I knew based upon their reactions that whatever that other person had said was not good. And so then I stepped in and I said, look, we can take care of everything here. None of you need to touch a thing. There was a lot of Mickey Mouse things, Disney things in this house. And I said, all of this Disney stuff needs to go to new collectors. And they're looking at me like, wow, he's talking our tune. And I said, the easiest way to be able to get it to other collectors, not in the city of Windsor. It's not going to happen here, but it needs to go to the auction house and it needs to be dispersed around the globe to other Disney collectors. There's pieces here that are harder to find in today's world. There's not a lot of vintage pieces. I didn't see very much vintage. I've seen more current things. But the catalog of Disney stuff is massive. And I wasn't there to go through every piece of everything yet. So then I simply presented my credentials, explained a little bit about who Real was because they had never heard of us, explained to them that, I own the brokerage. I own about 8,000 shares now in the brokerage, and that it's basically my thing, only with a broker of record that still oversees everything. And they're like, oh, wow, okay, good. And so just that release valve on being able to take care of everything for them. So all you have to do is just say, yes, Brian, and I'll be more than happy to come in and get going on this, get the house sold, get the contents cleaned out. We make heads or tails of everything. Anything that you want going to charity, we'll send it to those charities. And the one woman was a finance person for one of the charities. I'm like, oh, that's good. We go there all the time. And so she's like, okay. So I think that they're going to be calling me back today saying, hey, Brian, could you come by with your contract? And we want to get going on this because the house does need to be sold. The other benefit of that for the 92-year-old is that once we get the house sold, then I can also have the conversation because I'm kind of leaning towards keeping my finance license because it still is the right thing for some senior citizens, like this particular gentleman who's 92, to go ahead and get that house sold and then put the money, the proceeds from that sale, into a segregated fund so that when he does pass away, maybe 10 years from now, when he does pass away, that money that he has there in that account will transfer to the next generation almost instantly. It varies from case to case to case, but it's generally 10 to 20 days, depending upon paperwork flow from the survivors. Really just depends upon that. It makes a lot of sense to keep the license. I don't make very much money off of a deposit in the sums of like a $250,000 deposit. It's not about me making the money. It's about having the right resource for our senior citizens at the end of the day. And as I was sitting there last night, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should keep that finance license. Because I've been thinking about getting that business out. But it still has a slot. It still has a space in this whole thing, this whole juggernaut that I'm building. And so, I don't know. Going to have some conversations next month out in Banff with some advisors to be able to see what they think that I should do with that license. There's always the possibility that I build some kind of a partnership with a firm here in the city of Windsor, where if I hand off a senior citizen client to them, that I get paid in some way for that as well too. There's always the possibility of doing that because it still is money under management for that management company. So it still all pays sometime. When you're 92, you have very, very limited resources on what you can invest in from the government of Canada's perspective. They put their foot down and say, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that type of thing. It's really interesting. What the heck? Oh, that's the table back there. Okay. But anyways, so that appointment yesterday was just fun because one, I wasn't expecting 5 people to be staring at me in an appointment, but I knew that I had all the right answers for them as well too. And when I left them, I said, I'm not going to not ask for the business. I want the business. I want to take care of everything. My team needs to stay working. We're booking into late October, early November right now. I have one new listing coming up in November. I can sure use 2. I've been selling the listings that I've got. I just settled up on Whisper Creek yesterday. There's an inspection pending for Friday, and we'll see what happens with that inspection on Friday on whether these folks want the house. One last thing about this video. There is a trend. I think I'm going to shoot a different video about that. It's important. So we'll end this video here now about the fun meeting with a 92-year-old yesterday whose birthday is today. Happy birthday if you happen to watch. And there should be a new listing coming for about 250,000 on the wonderful road called Byng, 3100 block of Byng. Can't give you the address yet because it's not listed yet, but if you know somebody looking for a small, comfortable little house on Byng for $250,000, I've got one. All you got to do is give me a jingle, 519-995-6145, 519-995-6145. Have a great day. Bye-bye.